What is up, YouTube? I am the Durable Dad, and I am bringing you another do-it-yourself video. Why? Because, well, it's springtime, and I have a bar and some plates, and I need to squat. So, what am I building? A squat rack, of course. Pretty simple setup here. Wood, concrete, and some 5-gallon buckets. So, here we go. I'm gonna make a V-cut in these at the very tip top, so the bar will nestle down inside of them. A little bit taller on the front side, and the back side will be a little shorter so I can get up over the lip. Safety first. All right, well, I think the hard part's done. Now we just got to get that in there and mix it with water, and actually I'm gonna flip these upside down because I would like the wider part to be at the base. I'm about to mix up this concrete. I'm just kind of reading the instructions, make sure I don't do anything weird. It's mixing concrete, it couldn't be that complicated, right? This says just add water and mix 3.5 quarts for this entire bag. It says it hardens to 4,000 PSI over the course of 28 days. So that's cool. Okay, so they're all put together. I just used some tiny little boards on the sides once I got them level from the front and the side, and got that stuff. They should be pretty even. If not, I can just shave them down just a little bit. What I did not think about was how to get them into the garage, because that's 80 pounds worth of concrete a piece, and that should be fun. So think about that when you're building yours. You should probably go ahead and just do all that stuff in a way that you could easily get them back into whatever area you're gonna be storing them. So I'm probably just gonna throw a tarp over these tonight. Pardon the kids in the background, they're just having a good old time, but this is kind of how I have it finished up right now.
Wait, I wanna do it.
Don't swing. All right, so I let the concrete dry for a few days. It's nice and solid. I spent a little bit of time today just trimming up the top so it can be more the height that I need it. You can see it in the background there, but I'm gonna show you kind of what I'm doing to the very tip top of it to reinforce the top, because when you put extra weight on the bar, I don't want it to split the wood down the grain. And then, so I do need to reinforce the top, but then also put something on the top that won't tear up the finish on the bar also. So I'll show you what's up with that. All right, this is what I'm using to reinforce the top. I happen to just have some of these in my garage. I actually wanted some flat ones, so to be honest, I just took a hammer and flattened it out. So I took a hammer and essentially made them flat like this. And you'll see why here in just a second, because I'm actually going to rebend it a little bit to fit into that spot. 4x4. This is what it's gonna do. It's gonna sit in here and I'm gonna take these edges, I'm gonna fold them over, and I'm actually gonna get a little bit of carpet, I think, just some scrap carpet I have in my garage to lay over the top of this so it doesn't mess up my bar. Yeah, I kind of had to hammer it a little bit and I ended up whittling down the edges so the metal could bend around it a little bit easier. Which you see, and I tried to get screws that had a kind of a flat, pretty flush surface with the metal, but it's going to be covered with some carpet anyway. So now is that part, putting on the carpet. All right, here they are. They're not super beautiful, but when the bar rests in them, that'll sink down and they're nice and snug in that little crack on both of them. So, yeah. All right, the last thing I think, to just add some reinforcement to this sucker, going perpendicular to the grain of the wood, I'm going to put in some bolts that go all the way through the beam. These are the bolts I'm going to be using. They're 4.5 inches. I pre-drilled 2 half-inch holes. And then I put the bolts in them. You can see from the back here as well. They're just I'm going to tighten them down here, but this should be the final step, and then these things will be ready to go. All right, there you have it. I think it's finished. I did my best to get it perfectly level, but at the end of the day, it's really not going to matter if it's on the rack, if it's like a smidgen unlevel. It's because it's not going to be unlevel when it's on you. To recap, Lowe's buckets, 2 of them, about $2 a piece. I actually bought lids for them, flipped them upside down, cut the tops out, filled them with concrete. With this 4x4 beam, by the time it was in both of these, I had already measured the beam to be the height that I needed it, maybe just a little bit higher, because I did not want to run into a situation where it was too short for me. I'd much rather run into a situation where it's too tall, because then I can always shave it down. I went ahead and cut a notch in here in the wood. I did have to kind of whittle this down a little bit to get it exactly the way I needed it to fit well, but then I ended up putting a piece of sheet metal over the top of it to reinforce the top. And it also gave me something to anchor some carpet into, because I don't want to mess up the finish on this bar. I mean, you're looking at a grand total of, definitely under $50 for a squat rack. So, and it's pretty versatile. If you want to do carries, holy cow, let me tell you, that's 80 pounds of concrete in there, plus, I don't know, maybe a 10-pound beam here. I mean, it's a solid 90-pound thing if you want to carry them around. There's 2 of them, so that should be fun too. Thank you for watching this do-it-yourself video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it gives you some ideas of how you can build your own squat rack. Maybe you'll pick up some things from here that I did that you're like, I definitely wouldn't do that. I would do it differently. So it doesn't matter. This is how I did it. I think it's going to work out fine for me. But overall, I think it turned out really good. Thanks for watching.